Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the MRC show that never ends. It is Monday night once again, where all of your entertainment starts and ends. There is nothing else on TV, none of that Love Island rubbish, none of that. Well, unless you're an NFL supporter, then that's late on, so we'll leave that. We're here under the sunny skies, bit cloudy, but sunny skies of Azerbaijan, the Baku circuit, the street circuit. We've already seen high excitement and high drama as well in Tier 2. What will the Tier 1 gentlemen have for us coming up? 80 minutes of qualifying, of course, followed by 26 action-packed laps of this very tight and very fast street circuit. But before we get into qualifying as a whole, let me introduce to you the man I'm always delighted to have in the commentary box. It is, well, the man, the myth, the legend, as we see a few cars just going straight on, because why not? Well, what can we say about the man? He was papaya, he's now gone a darker shade of red, and he is... There's so many different ways I could introduce him, so we're just going to get straight into it. It's Mr. Single Track, Mr. Martin Hills. Good evening, good sir.
What's left of him? Wow, I'm battered.
Eventful race?
You could say that, yeah. I mean, qualified P4, stayed very clean through turn 1. Something happened behind me, took me out in turn 2, into the wall, lost my front wing, then ended up going, so I started mediums, pitted in for softs at that point, I think. Yep, softs. Then someone else crashed in front of me and I got caught out in it. Ended up back in for another wing, onto new mediums. Then that happened again. Someone else crashed and took my front wing off in front of me because I couldn't avoid them. So went back in and onto used mediums. And then it happened again, and yet again I found someone in a wall and hit them and lost my front wing and ended up on hards. And then it happened again and I ended up on used mediums again. So I think I used 4 tyres 5 times and had 5 front wings, or 4 front wings.
Wow.
Somehow,
Wow.
I think I came like 5th or 6th or something at the end.
I think it was about 6 over the line. I think I did see that, yeah.
I've got no idea. I just felt like it was like purgatory. I was just like, go out, have a bit fall off my car, go in, find some tyres, rustle around to the back of the garage and see what's left, put those on, they'll do. And then go out, oh, it's a safety car again, drive around for a bit, restart. Oh, look, there goes my wing again, back in. These tyres will do, I've got them off a lawnmower, let's use those ones. It was yeah.
There's some still on my sofa if you want those.
To be honest with you, I don't want to see another set of tyres as long as I live. I'm going to drive around on brake discs from now on.
Well, to be fair, the way the grip is around this circuit, and I think the way that the tyres do drop off, the brake disc might not be a bad option.
But to be honest with you, I'm actually pretty comfortable around this track. I mean, it's a track I really like, and I was, I kind of had fun making my way back through the field slowly. But I would rather have kind of stayed at the sharp end at the beginning and chased down whoever was at the front. I don't even know who won the race. Who won the race?
It was Fox Riverite, and the Red Bull won the race, and he had an absolute superb race, to be fair, and especially the second half.
Congratulations to him. Yeah, yep. Well done, mate.
By 0.029 of a second.
Was he driving around in a tank so he avoided damage or something like that? It was.
I don't know, but he had a very, very good race, and yeah, he just pipped me over the line. But I can't be too disheartened. He raced very, very well, and just couldn't get him right at the end.
I can taste those sour grapes from here.
I'm actually not. I'm slightly gutted, but I think he did very well.
Important note, G-Star now has the correct coloured wheel arches on his Mercedes because they fixed that.
Yes, of everything that they needed to fix in the game. And for those who don't know, there was an update earlier this evening for F1 22, and one of the main things they fixed was the colours of the wheel arches on George Russell's Mercedes. So G-Star now has the correct colours.
You will have to excuse me. I am a bit giddy after that. I think I'm suffering from PTSD. To be honest with you, it was traumatic. It was emotional, and I don't feel quite myself anymore. I think I might need counselling.
Well, at least we can sit back and enjoy Tier 1 action. I mean, only 11 finishers finished the Tier 2 race. Hopefully, we're going to see more this time round. A few drivers actually setting their laps on mediums. Bergen set a 41.6 on the medium tyres.
You
That's
weren't
quick.
far off that.
I was 42.6 I think I was on the mediums, I think.
Well, okay. I thought you were...
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were
No, I did my second...
pathetic.
I know. I was... I did my second one on the softs, improved quite a lot, and then ran out of time to get back out the pits. My teammate pitted just ahead of me, and the pit crew are all sacked at McLaren.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, we're on a recruitment drive.
I think it's McLaren who actually overall last year had the overall average fastest pit stop, wasn't it?
I think they did actually, yes. I can't remember who had the fastest. Was it Williams again had the actual fastest?
It was somebody else, but it was McLaren who had they had the most improvement from the previous year and consistently the quickest stops as well.
Wow. Well, they didn't do very well for me in qualifying. I did okay in the race. I managed a one stop. I managed to keep myself out of trouble. Just about.
It's almost like it's down to you, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't know.
You had to press a button or something and you forgot. I don't know.
I know. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah. I kind of felt for my teammate. He actually pitted under at the same time as me and managed... luckily, I think he dropped back and didn't get caught up too much in the stop. LR's just on a 146 and did not use a single bit of ERS. I don't know if he forgot to use the button.
Yeah, I've been known to do that. You switch it off to make sure you've got the maximum available for your hot lap, and then forget to switch it on.
Exactly. Yeah, done that. Yeah, I've definitely done that before as well.
Did that a couple of races ago, I seem to remember. No, it wasn't a couple of races ago because I wasn't here. It was 3 races ago.
Yeah.
Ended up like 18th and couldn't work out why.
Yeah. And realised you're missing, was it about 180 horsepower plus? I think it is now. It's a bit more now.
Yeah, and then messed up my final run because I was doing 2 runs. And then invalidated the last... Yeah, anyway, it's not been going well recently.
I think, unfortunately, both yourself and your team have not had the rub of the green lately, have you, unfortunately?
Mostly the rub of the brown, I think you could probably say.
Well, yeah, you could...
There was definitely something brown happening this evening. I think there was a turtle head poking out.
Yeah,
anyway.
I had that at one point. Unfortunately, Doris, or we're calling him Dory, he had an accident, crashed out through the fast chicane right at the end of the lap, and right in front of me, and I needed a new pair of pants. Yeah.
Well, like I say, that happened to me several times, and unfortunately, a few times they didn't ghost, which is why I then ended up back in the lovely pits again, enjoying the company of my teammates. So, who's out on a fast lap at the moment? Who should be likely to improve?
We've got Calvin, who could it be described as another difficult race in Tier 2. Was leading early on, and he's invalidated his lap. Oh, we'll skip on that one.
Yeah, I flicked to that and watched him do it.
Yeah. So who've we got? Saver on an outlap, Anton on an outlap, Lauren Chur. I don't think he's raced for a while, has Lauren. He may have been away, but if he has, great to have him back.
Along with Ollie Racing, who we should mention as well.
Yes, we should. That is a very good call. He's on a lap as we speak. Yeah, Ollie Racing is back in... He was one of the originals, wasn't he? Back, was it season 1, season 2 he was with us and joined?
I think it was 2, I think.
Yeah.
I think
He's been with us a long time.
Start. Yeah, so welcome back.
Yeah, and still got the pace as well.
Yeah, he was very quick in practice last night.
Oh, yeah, he really was. Yeah,
he was
really,
absolutely
really was.
Straight on to the Tier 1 front-running pace in practice, so let's see if he can convert that this evening.
Yep, certainly shall, and we will go through, of course, a full lap of this street circuit, the 6.003 kilometre Baku City circuit. And first Grand Prix was back in 2016, as if it's been that long, to be honest. As it was the European Grand Prix at the time, and then it's called the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2017, where we had a lot of, we've had drama in reality as well, haven't we, in here? We've had, of course, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen into turn one. We've had Hamilton and Vettel hitting each other under the safety car. We've had that drag race to the line with Valtteri Bottas as well, just to name 3 majors that I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it's clear. I mean, the 3 most famed incidents, I suppose, are Lewis with his brake magic button, unfortunately.
Oh, of course, that one, yes.
There was then, obviously, Sebastian deciding to just give a friendly kiss and a wave to Lewis, which was the year preceding that, I think. I think that was 20...
I think you're right, actually.
20?
Yeah,
2020?
Might be, yeah, I think that could be right, yes.
It was his last Ferrari year, wasn't it, I think?
Was it not the year before? It was either that or the year before.
Yeah, maybe. But, yeah, and obviously the Ricciardo and Verstappen one, which was basically the point at which Ricciardo decided to go to Renault. I think that was probably the precipitating thing that happened.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. It was the straw that broke the Aussies' back.
Yeah, it's a shame he didn't stay there because he was starting to go good at Renault as well, and it's obviously just turned into a complete nightmare for him since then. But I'll tell you what, not Bottas, what's his name? That Sergio fella, him, Perez.
Yeah, oh yeah, that guy.
He'd better not get COVID this year, had he?
No, yeah, that's very true, very very true. Lauren Chew's got a 5-second penalty for collision with Anton. That'll be under the castle section, trying to find track position. And Xavier pops it into 13th and then goes straight on in turn 1. Anton? Yeah, he's got an Alpha Tauri for company. I think that's looking a little bit argy-bargy up there. Calvin's on an out lap. He's actually mixed up in that as well. I'm sure he'll drop back to get a good run on his attempt. Only 5 minutes left already. Crikey, where does the time go? But what we'll do, let's ride on board with Calvin on his lap. Let's do a lap of the Baku City circuit. So, he's got ERS deployed to the hot lap as we go through to set up the lap, trying to keep as much speed as he can through that very fast left and right. That is actually a corner we've just gone through there. Don't really notice it, but it is. DRS wide open. Top speeds in excess of 210 miles an hour, up to 211, 212 for Calvin. Heavy braking, about the 120 metre board into third gear into turn 1. Oh, he's hit the wall! I hope he doesn't blame me for a curse.
And he's missing an end plate there, I think, or is that just the angle? No, he has. He's lost an end plate.
Oh, heck, that's not ideal at all. He should be able to get back though and have another run. Who have we got a little bit further round the lap? We've got Chris Bailey. We're going to call him into the I am stupid section, where in tribute to, of course, the Charles Leclerc. The infamous. It was qualifying, wasn't it, that Charles did that, wasn't it? I think it was. I can't remember the year. I'm going to say 21.
Yeah,
it will have been. Yeah, it'll be 2021, won't it?
I'll be honest with you. He hit so many walls that I tend to forget which ones he hit in which locations.
Yeah, that's true. That is
I've got a feeling he's just not quite the finished article still yet, Leclerc. He needs to go to finishing school. He's obviously got a lot of raw speed, but he seems to really struggle to convert that into clean races. Yeah,
I would have to agree with you on that one. And he's got such a talent. I hope he is a world champion, and I'm sure he will be at some point in the future, because he has, like you said, got that talent and that raw pace. It just, something seems to go in him, and whether it's a lapse of concentration somewhere. There you go. Thank you. And aren't you supposed to be on track? But Q3 2019, it was his first year at Ferrari. I was a year out.
His first year at Ferrari, was it? Wow, okay.
2019. So that means that Vettel Hamilton would have been 2018 then.
No, Vettel was in the Ferrari, wasn't he?
He might have been, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure
yes, he was. Yes, so it could have been the same year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when his car seemed to just keep spinning all the time.
Yes. and things went from bad to worse a little bit for the Maranello outfit.
As they seem to every single year.
Yeah. Well, what is it? If you give enough chimps typewriters and enough time, they'll create the works of Shakespeare. And it may be the same thing at Ferrari. Apologies if you're a Ferrari fan, I've just insulted you.
Well,
Hamilton Vettel was 17. And get off Google and get on your outlap. Right, let's ride on board with the man currently in second. J Sarge will try and do this again. Turn 1, third, up to fourth to stop the rears from spinning. Oh, he's got a bit of traffic, but he's going to brake heavily into turn 2. Avoid that inside curve can really throw you. DRS, the second DRS detection point and zone up through into turn 3, further up. A lot of traffic for Sarge on this one. Heavy braking, about 120, about the 70 metre board there, and he goes through into 4. Oh, there it is. Upshifts again nice and early to stop the rear from spinning. McLaren moves nicely out of the way, brakes very, very late into turn 5, turn 6. Quite a tricky little section is that one. Don't want to kiss too many of the inside curves, and they're very awkward braking. They seem to be never-ending turn 7 as we go into the I am stupid section of the old castle there. Bounces over 8, 9, 10. There's turn 11, and then turn 12 as he gets the power down and rides that curve nicely. Oh, big twitch from the Alfa Romeo as he's trying to get the power down, trying to get at least another 4 tenths to keep up. Well, actually a bit longer than that. A huge amount, and as he builds on, he's just taking a different line into, that was turn 15, down the hill into turn 16, the last braking zone, the last technical, you could say, corner of the lap. Rides over the curve, full throttle now for all the way to the line. Takes the outside, clips the inside curve of 18 and 19 flat out as we go through. That is actually turn 20 right there, getting a distant toe as we've got the DRS going to wheel wide open. For J Sarge, how much can he improve? Can he give Seppi something to think about? He does improve, but a 40.0 for J Sarge with that lap.
I think Holly Racing's about to improve quite significantly right behind him.
Oh, he does, and he's improved.
He lost some time. He lost some time. He was way up on his lap.
Yeah, there's a Williams ahead of him. I don't know if he may have got put off a little bit in the last sector.
Yeah, no, he was looking like he was 7 tenths up at one point, and then it's dropped quite a lot, unfortunately, for him, but there we go.
Yeah. Yes, but as we found out, anything can happen in these races. As we mentioned, only 11 finishes early on, and let's hope we get a lot more racing laps and racing action.
Yeah, it was quite frustrating, actually. I needed it because I had to catch back up so many blooming times due to carbon fibre exchange. But it's a shame when sort of can't get the flow going. I mean, how many safety cars did we have?
Ooh, I restarted 2. I was behind Calvin for 1, maybe 2, and I think I was behind a barn stop, led 1, so I'm going to say 4 or 5 we had, and a virtual as well in the opening lap.
2 virtuals.
Oh, do you have 2? Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did.
One of them was when I ended up in a wall at turn 2.
Oh, as Alex is retired from the session, currently in 9th, so for reserve, he stepped up from tier 2. So Barnstall from tier 3 is currently in 14th. Ghost Rider, I tell you what, Ghost Rider is reserved again, and he's in 16th. That's very, very impressive. He impressed at China when he reserved, and he's doing it again. 17th now as LRL. Stefan has improved up to 10th. We're going to ride on board with Anton for the rest of the lap. Sorry, I hope I don't put you off. I refuse to go on board with Calvin because I really don't want to curse him.
Well, I'll just quietly watch him.
Yeah. Oh, there's a tyre in the middle of the road, so someone's lost it at turn 16. Anton now powers towards the line. This will be his last attempt. There's a lot of drivers improving their times, as you can see on the leaderboard to the left. And what can Anton do with that? He pops up into 16th with that one. And Calvin does finish a lap time in the end. So there we are. Ghost Rider is finished his lap. Is anyone else on lap? No, that is it. So, qualifying already. Seppi takes pole position by 6 tenths of a second. Wow!
After seeing practice last night, I'm not surprised by that. He was like greased lightning off a buttery iced thing last night, and that's just silly, isn't it? I mean,
I can see where you were going with that, and I was waiting for something to
I was trying not to say anything rude, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, it's nearly 0.6 of a second.
It really is. That is,
I think we need to sort him out his own league, possibly.
I think it's
minus 0.2. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Jay Sarge is going to line up in second. Donald Duck in third. Reese, the championship leader, in fourth. Bergen in fifth. G-Star in sixth. Kid Dynamite in seventh. Lauren Cheer on his return is in eighth. Chris Bailey in ninth. And Ollie Racing on his return in 10th. We'll come through the rest of the field very shortly. I'm actually just going to go and bring up the standings as well for us so we can keep a check on that. Lauren Cheer's got the 5-second penalty, so he will drop. That's going to promote Chris Bailey, Alex as well, and LRL, who's in 11th. Ollie Racing actually has moved down to 12th, right at the death there. Nick BT 13th, Evervoice 14th. Toby is in 15th, Anton 16th, Saviour in 17th. Actually did tell me he hasn't actually had any laps to practice today, so fingers crossed Saviour has a very strong race with very little practice. Ghost Rider in 18th, Calvin in 19th, and Sergeant Uncle Sam was on a qualifying ban, so he did not set a lap time. We'll start in 20th position.
Well, I think Kid's got a fight in his hands tonight.
I think you're right. He does. I'm just going to find the Tier 1 standings. There we are. The commentators start doing this now, and we got it completely wrong the other night.
Who's we?
Yeah. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Chris.
Okay, that's
no. I think it might have actually been me. It was
okay,
me,
and
no, it wasn't yourself. Don't worry. It was last week. We got it in Miami. We got our picks, our hot shots of who we think is going to have a really strong race and who we could be tipping for potential victory. Who, Mr. Hills, would yours be?
I'm thinking J Sarge is looking particularly strong tonight. Be nice to see him sort of. I think he's gradually been getting to grips with this sort of adaptation to sort of the new settings for this season. I think I think everyone's had a challenge to do that, and some obviously were already running without any assists, and that's not a backhanded dig, but I know that it wasn't his favourite idea, so it's good to see him right back up the sharp end again. This track is such a difficult one to predict because there's just so much opportunity for things to go awry, and you could theoretically get everything right and still not win because of the fact that you could be scuppered by a sudden safety car and end up losing your entire approach to your race, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Which was why I didn't bother starting on hards this evening because I was thinking there's no way that those are going to get to the 20 laps that I know that they can do. I didn't really see the point in doing that this evening. I mean, it's very hard to predict, but it'd be interesting to see who's got good race pace, because what I did definitely see, and I dropped it into the comments on the Tier 2 race as well, was there was clearly a lot of people struggling massively for grip, like hugely.
Right, yeah.
As soon as their tyres went off, there were people literally just understeering straight off into half the corners. I mean, that's actually how I ended up getting my front wing removed a few times, was people would literally just take a corner, understeer and drive straight into a wall and retire on the spot. And I saw several of the safety cars happen because they happened right in front of me, and it was literally queues of cars that were bottlenecking, basically. I mean, there was at one point, I don't know who it was, but there was I think 5 cars all just concertinaed together, including me. I was second one to the back, with Genie in front of me. Rob was caught by it as well, and there was some cars in front of him and some cars behind me, and literally whoever it was at the front just understeered, couldn't make the corner, and everybody behind just hit the diffuser of the car in front.
Yeah, it has that effect, this track, and I'm just quickly looking at the tyres. Sorry, Martin. It's one driver, only LRL is starting on the soft tyres. There's a bit of a mix. There are 6 drivers on the hard tyres. Calvin starting on the hard. He did this in Tier 2 and was working quite well for him. Evervoice, Barnstorp, Dynamite, Bergen and Reese all on the hards. Everyone else on the mediums. So that's quite a good mix, and the mediums do work well off the line. I got past straight away off the line in after turn 2 or 3, I think it was. The grip does come very, very quickly, and you're right about that, of trying to how you're going to make them last. And I think the mediums offer up more flexibility to
I was going to go medium soft was my hope. but that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I mean, soft, medium, medium is another way of doing it, obviously.
Yeah.
Because there is a big lap time difference between the hards and the mediums.
Wow, I'm not sure who that was. There's a driver in the background. Actually, a few of them, I think, were trying to warm the tyres and suddenly doing a few donuts. For our entertainment in the background. Look at that, Jay Sarge really pointing in to face Seppi there. But here we go, folks. In Baku, we have got 3 red lights, 4 and 5 red lights. And now we go racing and we are off in Baku. Looks like a very slippery start for quite a few of the drivers. Sarge got a lot of wheel spin. He's actually been past Chatty Ducks, got past him. Seppi got a nice clear run. It's now once again a Haas 1-2, which is Sarge said. Bergen's up a spot into 4th. Reese, he's got overtaken and now having a little bit of a battle outside of turn 2. There's a lot of drivers taking it nice and steady, you'd have to say, through there. Nicely played.
20 drivers cleanly through turns 1 and 2 there. Every single person got cleanly through both the first 2 corners.
Yeah, very nicely done. Very, very nicely done, must be said. And now we go into race proper. Now everyone has, well, hopefully calmed the bones and chilled out a little bit. And now we can actually go racing. My stream's had an absolute fit. There we are. Sorry about that. Right, my stream had an absolute hissy fit then. Big winners already from the start. Saviour up to 13th. Alex and Kid as I think G-Star may have gone a little bit wide. He's got no damage, but now he's got the blowhole of the Rumpole Baileys for company in the other Williams. His teammate already up to 4th, but that gap with Seppi already 1.2 seconds. He's got J. Sargent company. Bergen's in a bit of overtaking, got a little bit further back, but I found, I don't know about you, in our race, that there isn't as much generally a field spread in this track. Oh, as Alex has gone very, very wide and he's lost his place. He's come back on. He's been hit. Who was that he hit? It might have been Dynamite he hit, and he's been sent round as he came on over the curb.
I missed that one, unfortunately. I was looking at Sarge, who's all over the back of Chatty Duck up the front.
Yeah, we're going to cut to that. Sarge he is, but no DRS available, of course, for one more lap. And what's quite good is in this track, what's different to some others is that is that a driver? Oh, it's Seppi. Ollie's got a severe collision with Nick BT.
He has disappeared to the back as well.
He has.
So I'll drop back and have a look and see.
Yeah, he's got no front wing as Ollie on his return.
Unfortunate.
It is. That really is, but long way to go though, Ollie. Long way to go. Anything can happen, as Martin has said. So Chatty Ducks, he's... Let's have a quick look at telemetry. Now, Chatty Duck keeping his 75%, 79 for J Sarge. That's very unusual for him. He normally does a red car Rambo and uses all of his ERS immediately. But not this time. It's one of those tracks that you don't necessarily need to, because some of the straights between the right-hand corners are very short. So you can keep your ERS for quite a long time.
Yeah, especially if you're running low downforce that works. You don't have to deploy so much of it around the track. I mean, I was basically just using it all out of the final corner, the final kink. Yeah.
Which Sarge is doing now.
Down towards the DRS line. That gives you a really good sort of top speed for the majority of that straight, and you barely have to use the DRS around the rest of the lap, really. Which is the only way I was managing to hold Morgan off at the end of the race. Was I had rear wing damage and he was catching me, and I just kept dumping all the RS and staying ahead of him, despite the fact he was in my DRS.
That's quite...
Sarge really wants that spot.
Oh, he got very twitchy though outside of 2. That's going to really hamper him when he's got the DRS now. Is that straight long enough? It's not this time round. So his best
Interestingly, they've taken 6/10 out of SW on this lap.
Ooh, they have. That is a good spot. I actually wasn't looking up there. I was too busy focused on the actual cars themselves. There's Ollie R. Calvin's had in the pits as well. Must have had a collision somewhere early on. So Saviour now up to 11th. Lauren Cheer as well, one of the big winners. Anton as well, up 6 places. So they're the big winners so far, as we're on lap 3.
I think Sarge is being pulled up to the back of SW by Chatty Duck, because Chatty Duck suddenly used a load of his deployment, which the other two haven't done. So Sarge is sitting there in that slipstream and getting the benefit, though they've fallen away a touch through the second sector there.
Yeah, there's a point of that second sector there, out of those left-hand kind of kinks, if you like.
SW just had a massive twitch out of that corner, and he's just lost loads of time to the two behind.
Yeah, he really has, and that is now that's gonna help Chatty to defend now against J Sarge, who's gonna have a lot of straight line speed. I was gonna say turn 13. As we were on, I was going to ride on board with J Sarge. What can he do? Is he going to have the top end speed, or is Chatty Duck going to be able to keep ahead? But turn 13 has a kink that you don't notice in qualifying and you don't notice in practice modes, but I think it's with the heavy fuel that it really unsettles the car. Oh, look at it, he's nearly having a look into turn 2, backs out of it wisely. And then is he going to try and have the run out of 2 up to 3, but the DRS is going to be available for Chatty Duck.
The pressure is really on for the two Haas boys, though, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. We saw this in China, and I can't remember actually what happened in China, but they were absolutely clearing away, and I think they actually chose to, rather than play a team game, kind of fight with themselves a little bit, and it cost... Oh, I can't remember which one it cost, and I'm sorry. But yeah, it definitely cost one of them quite massively. Let's have a quick look back to China. Well, actually, they're still finished second and third. Reese did come through at the end and took victory because he was on another planet in the second half of that race in China, and I think the Haas boys probably could have done a bit more to defend that and get... Look how close JSI is. The perfect time to go to a nose cone shot there, and that was a very, very, very close. I've never seen a diffuser that close before.
There's also a pretty hot battle developing for the 4 positions behind as well. From Bergen down to Chris Bailey is pretty tight there.
Yep, it is. Going to be just outside that DRS, but he's got time to get to that detection point and keep back within it. But he's going to keep with J Sarge. Is he going to try and make the move? He's using a little bit of his ERS deployment. And he does, as you say. Oh, there was a clip on the wall though from Sarge. You could hear it. The camera didn't have the best shot, but now Chatty Duck is outside of the DRS this time round. Is J Sarge going to be close? If he goes to go to the outside as they cross the line, is he going to be alongside? He's ahead in the braking zone. Does he get the car stopped? Goes a little bit wide. Just about, and managed to keep it out the wall as well. Chatty Duck's going to try and come back at him into turn 2. Backs out of. He's going to have the DRS though. Up to 3. J Sarge does take a wider line through that. Don't know if he kind of outbroke himself, but now Sarge dumping his ERS to try to keep ahead. And I think he's going to have the pace to do it. He is. So Sarge now.
Chatty's got no ERS left. He's used all of it.
Oh, he has.
Flashing all the way down. He was flashing all the way down the straight.
Oh, we just kicked on board with Chatty Duck on the onboard. Scott and J Sarge got very squirrely out of foot. Tell you what, Chris Bailey just made a few moves. He was what, 8th a minute ago. Reese has got. What happened to Reese? Reese is now down to 9th. He was behind Bergen. So something's happened in those opening couple of corners.
Yeah,
and I'm going to say it was around turn 9-ish. I think it was. 6
seconds down on his fastest lap, so something's happened.
Yeah, so he's had a real moment.
Can't see any damage looking at him, but which is lucky around here.
It really is, yeah, that can really, really hurt. But now Bergen's got the former champ. He's got Dynamite on his tail, and this is really important. With now Reese, I know it's a long way to go, but Dynamite's still second. He's still only 33 points off the back of Reese. So every single point, every position counts massively for Dynamite in his bid to win back-to-back championships.
So what you were saying about ERS usage, Sarge has now burnt through a lot of his, because obviously he's desperately trying to get into the DRS window of SW there.
Yeah, but Chatty Duck's actually, because he's got none left, is now outside of that window.
Yeah, I meant Sarge is trying to get into Seppi's window.
Yeah, he's now got 70%. Seppi's still got 71% left of his ERS.
Exactly.
But now we're going to stop helping people and we're going to turn that off. I know it was a request a few weeks ago in Tier 2 when there were battles forming, and we had somebody ask for the ERS coverage just to see in the telemetry, and well, we refused. because
it fills the screen with all sorts of sort of mess as well, doesn't it? You can't really see what we're looking at, so it's good to have things minimal, really.
Yes. Josh is asking, can we show the tyres? Yes, that one I can show quite happily, Josh. My pleasure. So, that's actually a good point, because Dynamite gets just about, he saves it, but he clips the wall through turn, is it turn 9 I keep saying it? No, it's not, sorry, it's turn 7 that he clipped the wall again, and that's allowed Bergen to escape a little bit. It's allowed Bailey now to get on the back. Those medium tyres still be feeling good. Well, Dynamite's struggling a little bit by there. I think he's overheated his tyres maybe just a touch. Yeah, the hard tyres should be coming into their nice window now, should be quite inconsistent. Mediums, yeah, they'll feel good. Softs for LRL, ooh, they may not feel too nice about 5 tyres in with heavy fuel.
Yeah, one more lap on those and you're going to want to get rid of them. But I mean, the mediums are pretty much starting to get toasted by 10, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, definitely. I mean, same that, and the last 2 laps, I was fighting with Jake, and the amount of grip that I did not suddenly have was very, very scary. Yeah, LRL does pit now with those soft tyres. Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. My only saving grace was Fox had exactly the same issue I had. But around that I Am Stupid section, that we're going to call it, the castle section, and is it the Old City I think it goes into? It's the Old City. Turn 11, the right-hand overtake, that was just a 4-wheel drift and begging to keep it in line. Bergen's had a moment, so now Dynamite is now smelling the back of that Williams. Don't get caught if you're doing things like that.
I was watching Bergen just now. It looked like he was struggling for traction into some of the braking areas, like he just did there, in fact. But yeah, I was also just looking further back at Chris Bailey, who's been using a lot of his ERS. He's sort of stopped his advance momentarily, and he's dropped away slightly, as has Chatty Duck. I mean, Chatty Duck has now massively dropped off the back of J-Sarge.
Yeah, and J-Sarge dropped that gap as well. It was about a second, if not under, now 1.8 seconds, that lead. And I'm sure Seppi's still saving his. Oh, as Chris Bailey gets very, very wild coming through turn 15 at the top of the hill. Wow, we did really well to save that. That's going to drop him off the back. But here's Dynamite. He is in the DRS of Bergen. What can he do when the DRS opens? Let's ride on board. Is it going to be another repeat of the J-Sarge overtake? He's got it now. He's catching. Gets there just before the line. And he does make the move into turn 1. But Bergen's going to have that DRS back again, don't forget. Now, is he going to make that clean? We saw J-Sarge have a moment, but managed to stay ahead from 2 up into turn 3. Bergen is quite close, but Dynamite actually didn't really use much of his ERS deployment on that straight, so believes that he's got a very quick car in a straight line. And Bergen now going to try. I think they're on the hard tyres, so they are going to feel okay now, and it's going to be interesting to see that gap come down, if it's going to come down to the top 3 with those tyres, and possibly the mediums, as you say, cooking a little bit and going off from this point, from about lap 7.
Yeah, I mean, I've just watched Banstorp drive straight past Chris Bailey. I think those mediums are starting to struggle quite badly. Had a very nice clean fight with Banstorp this evening. We had a lot of fun, actually. We were wheel to wheel through several corners and it kept it all nice and tidy. It was very good.
Yeah, I had a little bit of fun with him, and I think then he pitted. I think he did. I can't actually remember. I think he did pit, actually. Yeah, we had a good little fun as well, and it was.
I think Chris Bailey's lining him back up for the start finish straight though, because he's right tucked up underneath his rear wing.
Yep, he certainly is. We're going to look at that one now.
There's a lot of people driving around on their own almost this evening as well. I'm just looking back through the field. Very split up. There's a few fights going on. Sergeant Uncle Sam and LRL, they're having a good old battle back there as well for 14th and 15th.
Well, on those fresh medium tyres, of course, after starting on the soft, so you'll be looking to do one more pit stop before the end, because of course mediums won't go that long. What can Chris do? Is he's going to have a look at Barnstop. Barnstop is very, very quick in a straight line. Oh, Sergeant Uncle Sam, you speak of the, and he has now retired, and that's through the fast kinks. And have we got? We've got a full safety car. Well, to be fair, we've done well. We've got to lap 9.
They're not trying hard enough. What are they doing?
I know. Done very well there.
3 by now.
I think we did, funnily enough.
As part of my prep for this, I actually rewatched the last time we raced here, in Tier 2 anyway. And by lap 16, Tier 2 had 4 safety cars.
Wow.
Which basically means that there had been probably 4 laps at that point, racing laps.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is a significant improvement. Well done, everybody.
Yeah, let's keep it going for the next 15 laps after this. Please. Yeah, so now we've got... Oh, sorry, 15 laps, a bit more than that, actually. 17 laps.
That was
left
very
to
interesting.
go.
I saw a Ferrari stopped on track then. I'm guessing it was Nick BT. He seemed to. I think he'd. Looking at the track map, it looked like he must have gone into Danny Rick's reverse corner.
Ah. That was turn 3, wasn't it, Danny Rick?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
We saw a few cars do that at the start of qualifying as well. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who decides to pit. Let's have a look at the leader. The leader does decide to pit. Will JSR follow it? He does. And so does the other Haas driver. There should be enough of the gap between the Haas's to not have to really double stack on that. He's got a bit of a gap to... Well, say he had a gap to Dynamite. Dynamite does stay out, which, fair enough on the hard tyres. You would.
So
well, Berger's decided to pit, though.
Everyone's going hard. No, everyone's hoping there's not going to be another safety car.
Yeah. But the hards, they didn't take too long to come in, I found. I don't know about yourself. But
I
felt
found
okay.
about 4 laps before they started feeling nice. Do you know what I mean? They felt all right after a couple, but after 4, they felt kind of properly grippy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't feel a lot of difference to the mediums, but they were running quite a lot slower, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they were, and I think the mediums felt good on initial turning. For me, the fronts felt quite nice for a while, and then after a while, just everything. Last 2 laps, lap 25, 26, just felt, well, horrible. To put it nicely.
Well, I was running a funny setup, a bit contrary to how I normally like the car to be. And it wasn't really that affected by the rear grip, to be honest with you. It was more a front biased sort of setup. So, because normally I like a little bit of understeer, and understeer. And I normally set it up with kind of a balance towards the rear. Whereas tonight I kind of dropped the rear wing right down and kind of kept a little bit more on the front, which is contrary to how I liked it, generally speaking. But I was just needing straight line speed, basically, so that I could defend for some of the people who are clearly running almost nothing, and still have sensible grips to be able to keep going around corners,
exactly,
like all the way around the lap and everything, all of them at once.
Yeah, I found the same, and I think a lot of people have followed suit, as we've seen quite a few drivers, especially in the practice sessions, through the speed traps, that the drivers were just, some of those speeds in the speed trap were just ridiculous. So yeah, very low downforce setups. While we're in safety car chat, don't forget, folks, all 19 of you are watching live at the moment, hit the like button, the big thumbs up, please. That would be fantastic to get your support. Don't forget to share as well onto your Facebooks, my faces, Bebo's, Twitters, all the rest of it. And get it out, get the name out there, share, and we're all proud of MRC. We all love what we do. We all love taking part in this absolutely incredible league. And get the share out, get the word out there, get people following us. 2 of you already hit the like button. Thank you for that. So all the rest of you guys who are watching, all the other 17, hit the like button, share. If you haven't subscribed, ring the bell, and you'll get notification of when we go live. 5 races per week. And of course, on Wednesday, we've got Tier 3 and Tier 4 taking to this Baku Street Circuit. And then we have a special. This is going to be a very long MRCX special 100% race here on Friday evening. So that is going to be
had Connor had a baby shower when he decided to do that?
I don't know what he'd had.
It must have been. How did that get past approval? How did that even happen?
I don't know how we let. Why did we let him do it? You're the boss. I'm second to you. How did we let that happen?
Hang on. The poo falls downwards, mate. Anyway, I was just about to say, just on a side note, Ant in the chat has made a mention of an issue where he thinks he's got an unfair penalty for me. So just remember that he can report that to the stewards and apply to get it removed. Just make sure that you have both your footage and you've gone to the race director screen at the end and scrolled up and down throughout it so that we can see all the incidents that you've been involved in. And you can apply to get that removed. So don't worry about that. If that's he's basically just saying that the game is obviously mental.
It was. That was in qualifying where you got the five place penalty where Lauren crashed, and it's in qualifying you got that and he started near the back. Unfortunately, sorry, we can't. Who have we got here? So. Anand, thank you. Mr. 38 is with us. Good evening. Nice to have you in the YouTube chat. Of course, do get involved. He's saying the safety cars made the race for the medium runners if there's no further safety car. 15 more laps. It's going to be tough, I think, for the medium tyres. I think the guys who are pitted now for the hard tyres are in a better thing if there's no safety car. Personally, but that's your opinion. You think those mediums, if you've got the right setup, you're right. There probably is no reason why they couldn't go to the end. Monster, hard to regret for him in the first stint. He did have a good first stint. Got a bit unlucky towards the end. He subbed and rung the bell already. Good lads. I should really hope so. He hit the track but felt quick tonight. You did have good pace. Qualified well as well. So just a bit unlucky, my friend. And don't worry, we still got some constructors points. So we'll keep battling to the end till the checkered flag at Silverstone in I don't even know when it is. About 6, I'm going to say 6 weeks' time. I think there's about 6 more races, I think, isn't there?
Is there?
I think it's something like that.
I thought we had a month left.
I'm sure there's about 5. Hang on, I've got the thing up here. So we've got tonight, we've got back now, so we've got, yes, 5. You are right, we have France next week, then Singapore, then we're going down into Japan, Imola, and finish with an almighty classic in Silverstone. So that's a good little run in that. There's some fantastic tracks.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm not the world's biggest Silverstone fan, funnily enough. I love watching it, but I am generally not very good around Silverstone, so not necessarily my favourite.
I don't know how it's going to be on this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was generally a season of tracks I don't like, so...
Oh, okay.
And with a few that I do. So I actually really like this one, but it doesn't like me, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Silverstone I used to really, really like. I remember a few seasons ago, and there was an almighty, pretty much race-long battle I had with Calvin, who's currently in 16th, and our T2 race winner, Fox, and that ended literally down the hanger straight on the final lap. It was an incredible race, that one, and it always gives a lot of overtaking opportunities and a lot of action to Silverstone. But we've got Imola as well. That's going to be a fun one. I don't think we've raced there on this game yet. I could be wrong.
Safety car in.
It is, so we'll come back to that if there are any more safety cars. Adnan did mean, you're stuck on the M25 for 3 hours. Well, you might as well have been racing, to be fair, because that's what these guys feel like, and that's what we definitely felt like in Tier 2 behind the safety cars. So now it is down to our champ. It is Kid Dynamite with our championship leader, funny enough, now snuck up behind him in second. These guys have not pitted, of course. Seppi will be there ready and waiting, getting the heat and the grip into his tyres. Now, when does Kid Dynamite go? He doesn't want to give the toe. He doesn't want to go too early because it is such a long straight here. But he has gone before the pit exit, and he's gone. But I tell you what, Reese got a little bit napping, but Seppi certainly hasn't. Is Seppi going to have a look on the inside into turn 1? He's going alongside. Has he got the grip? He does. Dynamite struggling for a grip. He's nearly went wide. Seppi's going to take 2, and he does. Outside of turn 1 into 2. Dynamite's not giving up the bang wheels. Just about enough room left. Oh, what a move from Seppi on a safety car restart.
That was some amazing racing there. That was so respectful as well. Everybody did a really good job there. It's the last thing that Sarge wants to see happen in front.
But Sarge just made a move on Barnstop as well and got what a move into turn 3 as well.
Yeah, Sarge would have been hoping that that Seppi stayed behind the two guys at the front until he could get himself past Barnstorp. Now, unfortunately, he's now got two cars between him and his rival, so he's going to be that's not what he wants to see in his next few corners. He's going to be losing time constantly through here because those guys are on 12-lap-old mediums compared to their 3-lap-old mediums.
Or Haas, but yes, you are right. Sorry,
yes.
Sorry, I'm being pedantic. I am being very pedantic. I do apologise.
The firmer mediums, you know.
Yes, the firmer mediums.
But tyres was the word I was trying to go for.
Yeah, let's go with that. Luckily, we're not in IndyCar, and it's the white sticker wall tyres. Oh, Sarge just get the wall. He's gone round, kept it out of the wall. Oh, Sarge. Oh, and he's lit the rears up. I'm going to cut away from that because that's painful. Oh, that's very, very painful. Now, I'll tell you what, now you mentioned, of course, Sarge. Now we've got the other Haas, Donald Duck, or Daffy Duck, which depends on his mood, is right up behind Barnstop.
We've got a spinner. Who was that?
Oh, who was that? Was that Ollie?
There's a car pointing backwards.
I missed that. That may have been Ollie, because Ollie's had a spin outside of turn 16.
Yes, I think it was.
Stop as Alex is retired from the session. He's gone through the last kink, and there is a virtual safety car this time round.
No, real safety car.
Oh, it's changed and it's got to a real. We nearly got we got a lap.
Oh dear me! These guys and then
they're doing so well.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
not
going
sure what happened to Alex. Alex obviously went very heavily and very suddenly because he was just gone.
Yeah, and it was through turn, well, the last got on turn 19 that he went.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out who was pointing backwards on the straight. I think it might have been, maybe it was Ollie.
I think Ollie, because he was further back, so it could have been Ollie that went past Alex, and Alex had DNF. So I don't know what happened there.
I just saw I was just having a look at Sarge to see whether he picked up any damage, and he was driving through a ghost that was pointing in the opposite direction on the track.
That is always scary.
Yeah, and it was in that flat out exit from the kink as well. So
that was Alex. Yeah, that was Alex. I think I looked on the track map. That was where he unfortunately retired.
Okay, right. Well, in that case, it happened just in front of Sarge.
Yeah.
So. Well, there we go. So there's now 12 laps to go. So
you would expect the hard tyre, the guys who have. I'll start that again. The hard timers to pit again. Would you? I would probably say you might expect Bergen, LRL, Nick, and Evervoice potentially to pit again as well. Even Xavier, 6 laps on the hards, he may pit again.
Surely Kid and Reese have got to be thinking about coming in now.
Yeah, they are going to drop to the back, but there will be some drivers who may struggle towards the end and some who will still pit. Let's have a quick look on board. Kid does pit, yeah, they do, and there's an Alpine as well, so that is, Toby pits as well. There. Yeah, and RailRL does actually, 7 laps on the mediums, good opportunity for him to do that stop.
I despise that pit entrance.
It's not fun.
It's hellish. It's terrifying.
I think one of the worst ones is actually China. Miami's not a good one either.
No, but it's just this when you come into it so quickly, and if you don't slow down in the right place, you just hit the wall.
Yes.
On the entrance. I'm not sure who it was, but I came round one lap in Tier 2, and there was a car pointing backwards out of the pit entrance. That had crashed into it. And I'm not quite sure what happened, whether they were trying to go into the pit, or whether someone tried to pit across somebody else.
There was an incident early on, very early in the race.
Right, okay.
I'm not going to mention names because I know for a fact it has gone to the stewards.
Okay.
But yes, there was. No, because you came about it. You came about it.
I came in from. That would make sense because it would be when I came in for the first of my 4 wings.
Yeah, and it was actually I have seen the footage, and all I'm going to say is the driver was on the left-hand side going into the pits, and then suddenly somebody his engine decided to be on that car's. Well, he wanted the same engine, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Tried to become one with each other.
That was it. Yes. Yeah. And
they were trying to merge into the same time and space.
Exactly that. Yeah. The space-time continuum doesn't really extend to F122.
So, looking at who's still gonna have to pit. I think everybody
Bergen
can
and
get the end now,
Nick.
can't?
I think Bergen and Nick may. We have got 11 laps. They've done 5 and 6 laps on the mediums respectively. Yes, some of them are behind safety car, but I think, from my personal experience, that they're going to struggle right at the end. They may have better control than me, and to be fair, they are better drivers than me. So I mean, I could be talking absolute tosh.
I think in practice last night, I concentrated on the mediums, and I'm pretty sure that they were hitting the red by the time you got to about lap 14.
Oof.
So obviously a bit of safety car action will give you a bit of extra life in those, but it's going to be very touch and go. I know that the hard will do 20 before it's the hard will just about do 20.
You are the new tyre whisperer.
Well, I did a practice run to see how far the hards went, and they went up into the. I think they got up to about 82% after 20 laps, but they were still going. The rears, that was on my setup, but
yeah, mine. I went low downforce or lowish, and it must be my suspension or my geometry setting. The tyre. No, I couldn't do that. Not a chance. No, not a chance.
Yeah, the fronts were all right, but the fronts I think were still yellow rather than red, but the backs were absolutely toast at 20 laps. But you could stretch them out, and they were only I did it as a full fuel weight run to see kind of how they progressed, and yeah, I mean the drop off wasn't as big as you would think it was. So yeah, the hards will obviously very easily do it, but mediums, light tanks, maybe.
Yeah, we have seen the mediums do. They tend to be okay. They tend to fade a tiny amount, and then suddenly for me, they just disappeared. And I could have been on trolley wheels for the way that they go. So you always get that trolley that's got the one dodgy wheel, and that's what my car felt like for the last 2 laps. Which when you have a very racy Fox River 8 behind you, wanting that victory and desperate for that victory, it wasn't fun. Wasn't fun. It was definitely.
I can well imagine.
Yeah.
So safety car is coming in. It's going to be interesting to see how these hard runners in the midfield become vulnerable to people like Kidd.
Yes, it is. Calvin on 8 laps on his. G-Star's got a penalty. He's the only one with a penalty. He's got 7 laps on his. And now we're back to the 2 Haas boys. Back up front, Bergen on the mediums. How's he going to fare at this restart? Now, when does Seppi go? He's actually gone very, 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 very early. Wow, that is ridiculously early. And he's had the throttle glitch. He's actually gone far too early. He's now caught the safety car. Now he's allowed to go. That's allowed Chatty Duck to come back. He did drop his teammate. And Bergen, they've all had the throttle glitch going down the straight. That was I like his enthusiasm. I like the fact he tried to do something different. I think he just got caught. Oh, this car's going very, very sideways through turn 1. Just about keeping it out of the wall. But everyone very clean, very careful. And now we've got the 2 Haas followed by the 2 Willies. And followed by the Red Bull of Anton having a superb race now from near the back of the grid. Up to 5th. Xavier as well up to 6th. And this is what you say. When you said there's so many opportunities in this race. And we've seen it from Anton Xavier. Let's have a look at those position changes. Up 15 and up 10 places respectively. So Anton started dead last.
And there's only
19,
one
sorry,
penalty
started,
amongst the entire grid.
Yeah, G-Star's got it, and that was a 3-second time penalty he's got.
So it's probably on the exit out of the castle section. That's the main place you can invalidate, isn't it?
Yes, I was thinking that. Yeah, that must be one of them, and which the Bergen is just going through now behind the 2 Hasses, and possibly turn 16 if you go wide out of there. That could be another one, I think.
where if you take too much on the entrance curb on that right-hander just before the castle section, you can actually invalidate there as well. But
good point.
I suppose the rest of it, there's an awful lot of walls. Oh, someone's round.
Oh, it's Ollie. Ollie Racing's gone round. Oh, he's gone at the same place. Sarge has gone turn 50. Oh, and he's backed in the wall. That's not going to help. His rear diffuser on his rear wing very much. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage. So Dynamite now. Oh, look at this. All over the back. Where have we seen a Mercedes and a Ferrari side by side in Baku before? But we've got it again. Dynamite with Calvin side by side. No DRS. There it is. The wing isn't open. But look at this. We've got Reese joining in the action. Oh, Calvin's got done by 2 of them. Reese is going to have a look at Dynamite into turn 1. Calvin nearly goes in the back of Reese under braking. Reese backs out. What? Wow. Oh, I feel sorry for Calvin. He was up in 11th and got done by both Dynamite and Reese on there on the fresh medium tyres. Calvin on the hards.
Yeah, it's very hard to defend against fresh, softer tyre, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and even the straight line speed, you could see the difference there. I mean, Calvin did have a good, obviously racing against him. He had good top speed, but these two, there's not a lot you can really say about Dynamite and Reese, because you run out of superlatives. It's just another level at times.
I think you've blown enough smoke up their backside.
I know, I'm going to move on. That's why I'm going to look at Saviour now. I'm going to look at everybody's favourite. Well, sorry, but he's my favourite German. One of the nicest guys you'll ever come across is Saviour. Of course, champion as well, double champion. He won the MRCX Elite Championship. That's, believe it or not, I think that's 2 seasons ago now. He's won that.
Yeah. Sorry, I was actually just looking at the fact that the Hasses are gradually pulling away at the front. They've now got a gap, a significant gap to Bergen,
who's got his teammate for company.
Yeah, so I would imagine Chris is going to drive straight past him at the end of the straight down here.
Yeah, he is. I'm sure the DRS is now available. Next lap. Oh, now it's available. There it is. Bergen seems to have pulled away a little bit now. I don't know if Bergen seems to have a lot higher top speed, but Chris kind of dropped back a touch through there. Now let's go back to the tyres, because that's going to play a big thing. Yeah, Bergen 9 laps on those mediums. Possibly we'll have to start again. They're going to be burning up, which could explain the difference. Chris as well, it's going to hurt his race, but he is on for a podium again this season. So Chris currently in the championship is where I find him currently 6th in the championship. Actually, he's had a few quite good races. He's had a 2nd as well this season in Jeddah. Yeah, he's been quite consistent early part of the season. Only one non-point scoring finish this season, which was last time out in Miami. So yeah, he's doing really well this season, is Chris, and he seems to have found his rhythm a little bit.
There's quite a tight fight going on between everybody just behind there as well. I was about to try to narrow it down, but it's basically it's primarily Ant, Saviour and Nick are having quite a tight little battle. Nick's just dropped away slightly. He was all over the gearbox Saviour for a couple of corners.
He was. I'll tell you one thing. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't want to curse him. I really, really don't. But Ghost Rider up in 8th.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Absolutely superb.
Kid is not making the progress I was expecting of him.
Well, he's caught up to the back of G-Star. That gap was over a 2nd, and it's very quickly now 4/10. And of course, DRS is enabled this lap, so you'd expect Saviour to have the grip and have that straight line speed. And mind, he did say he hasn't practiced as well this track, but those tyres may struggle towards the end. He's already getting closer. He's already got a top speed. You hear the beep, and there's the wing open. But there's Nick as well. The Ferrari's gone the other side of the Red Bull. Is he going to have enough pace to go about? See if he's trying to go on the outside into turn 1. He's trying, just runs out of room. Brave from Nick on 11-lap-old medium tyres. They are not going to be feeling too smart as well, but that's some seriously good driving from Nick. Oh, and Anton just got absolutely swamped through that.
And the same has happened to G-Star further back, because Kid swept straight past him, and now Reese is all over the back of G-Star as well, and
if he was a little bit wide,
is all over the back of him.
Yeah, let's go back to that battle. On the outreach to the top 10, of course. Potential pit stops still to go. 6 more racing laps after this one, where the 2 Hasses have absolutely cleared off in the distance. Ghost Rider makes a slight error through the turns. I'm going to say it's 5 and 6. I was right. And he's now got... That's...
He's a bit of a cork in a bottle, isn't he, right now?
He is, but I really hope he's got the pace. I really do, because he's shown it so far, and I really hope he gets points. And this is superb from him to be out there. Really,
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But he's, I mean, is he tier 3, tier 4? I know his mentor is watching, so Lion King, Mr. Simba, if you're watching, is he tier 3, tier 4? I can't actually remember off the top of my head. He's battling with a champion. I mean, need you say more on that one? I think he may get done down the straight. Dynamite is right up as Nick BT's retired. Oh, that's a lot of damage. You can see that going on. That's a big hit from Nick. Are we going to see any safety cars from that? There's nothing. There's only just a yellow flag. Wow. Did not expect that. Dynamite got past and then didn't even use his DRS. But look at this behind Reese and G-Star side by side in turn 1. Just about. Kept it. Oh, there's a collision. That was Lauren Shear. Got very sideways and hit. I think it was Toby. It was. Lauren got a real twitch out of turn 1 and sent Toby into the wall. I think he doesn't have damage by the looks of it. Managed to keep it out.
I missed all of that, unfortunately. I was looking at the wrong part of the field.
Well, I was still looking at Reese and that battle. It was just in the background. We saw it. Yeah, now Reese has got past Ghost Rider. Keep on going, Ghost Rider. Keep on going. Still quite a few laps to go. As Bailey's sitting behind Bergen now. They've got a gap of 2.5 seconds to save you. Who's got Anton for company? What have you seen?
LRL was trying to pass Era Voice into that really tight chicane.
I didn't think that was an overtaking spot.
It clearly isn't.
Yeah.
He tried to go around the outside into the entrance of the left-hand part of it, which is only ever going to close that gap, because it's really hard not to just massively understeer into that when you're on your own.
Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, LRL came out of that by far the worst, ended up pointing in completely the opposite direction.
Calvin's had a moment as well coming out the castle section. Currently down to 17th. Not going well for him, unfortunately. But Chris keeps dropping off. I think Bergen, out of the final corners, gets ridiculous drive out of turn 16. Chris Bailey has lost 4/10 his teammate to him. I don't know, he could just be sitting there, could just be sitting pretty. Giving Bergen some well-deserved and championship points. He's currently on 49 points. His teammate Chris on 84, and it is very tight in that midfield, so these are important for Bergen. He'll go ahead of Jay Sarge, who's currently down in 13th place, pardon me, after that spin. So this is quite critical for the championship.
Lap in his pursuit of Ant here as well.
Yeah, and I've actually seen pop up in Discord, and obviously we're not going to make too many comments, but Nick BT, now unfortunately has retired, has put his hands up in the stewards chat, so we didn't see. I wonder if there was contact, whether something happened that caused that retirement. Of course, stewards will investigate after the race. And
he was looking very racy when I'd been watching him over the previous few laps. There was some pretty tight battling happening that Nick BT was involved in. So
yeah, and he was very quick in practice yesterday as well.
So we are now at the point where Bergen's tyres may start to feel particularly horrible.
Yes.
He's obviously got a few laps under the safety car on them, so they might not be quite there yet. He's got 4 laps to go. Fuel load's going to be super light. What's interesting is he's got a lot more ERS left than Chris has as well. So quite what's happening here is a mystery.
It's normally a very rear limited circuit, this, I find. The rears are a lot worse than the fronts. But I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this battle now. Kid and Reese have closed up to the back of Anton. All the DRS tread behind Saviour. Oh! Kid got such an overspeed. Sorry, we're on board. Wow! Kid got an overspeed. Nearly went into the back of the Red Bull as he opened the DRS. That was ridiculous. And now Anton's trying to come back at Kid and he can't do it, but he's going to have the DRS. Kid's gone round in this contact with Ant! Kid lost it, I think, under traction, and Ant's hit him. No damage by the looks of it. But that's allowed Reese to come back as well. So Anton, poor Anton, I don't think he did anything there. Kid just I think the tyres just seem to give up a little bit of ghost on him, and that's hurt him.
I think there was the very slightest hair of a touch. It was one of those really unfortunate ones where it just unweights the tyres just as you're getting on the throttle. I think it was just literally
one of those.
Nothing that you would normally even have noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so unlucky, especially for Ant, because he's running a fantastic race. Now, unfortunately, finds himself down in 9th. Lauren Cheers passed him as well. He's got G-Star and then Ghost Rider for company. So Ghost Rider, just keep what you're doing, Ghost Rider. Keep on going. Don't forget that this sounds really horrible, and I do apologise, but Ghost Rider has got a 3-second penalty, as we saw early on. Ollie Racing has also now got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Ghost Rider needs to keep doing what he's doing, and he will, unfortunately, after this race, unless G-Star, of course, reports it being pushed off track and gets it.
Got a penalty.
And Ghost Rider hasn't. Exactly, yes, so he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and will gain that place unless G-Star does ask for removal if he was pushed off track and the game gave him a warning and a penalty. But that will wait and see after this race. But now we've got Dynamite. He's got 1.7 seconds, but he's got Reese, the championship leader in the DRS. Reese has not got a lot of VRS left. He's going alongside, and makes the move and gets past way before the braking zone. Goes a little bit defensive just to keep on that one to Dynamite. He's got a little bit more ERS, but not a lot more either, as Reese now is flashing away. And then we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's turn 1. Is that? No, it's a Ghost Rider. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't my fault.
No damage that I can see, though, so he can keep plodding along.
Yeah, I think he may have just gone on into turn 1, outbraked himself a little bit.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. But again, doing a very good job. I mean, he's ahead of some pretty good people there. Look at that.
Yep, Lauren Cheers gone round. He's ghosted. So Jay Sarge now takes that place back. Ghost Rider wasn't close enough, unfortunately, to take advantage, and he's going to have LRL for company very, very soon. Let's go back to the guys at the front. Reese and Kidd, obviously, they're line astern, trying to close that gap. It is closed down a little bit more to 1.3 seconds to Saviour. That's 16 laps on those hands. They are not going to be feeling very pretty at this point. As Calvin now on fresh mediums sets the fastest lap of the race. A very good lapper, 1:43.7. What's interesting, Chris, the top two, go on.
I was going to say, Chris is now getting quite a bit closer to the back of Bergen. I'm wondering whether they're holding formation.
I think they may be, because Bergen is currently obviously hasn't had a podium in Tier 1. Well, Chris has, and I think they are good friends, and they are in a party together all the time. So I think it could be, flying formation for the Williams. It's a 1-2 currently for the Haas boys. Only 1.1 seconds separates them. Bergen and Chris Bailey, the Willie boys, in second. Now, I'll tell you what, Saviour and Kidd has got back past Reese under the DRS. We missed that, but I think that battle's going to keep on going. But they are closing down now within the DRS. Ooh, speed in the pit lane for Lauren Cheo. Don't see that very often.
Oh, it's unfortunate. That's
unfortunate. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it is. So Ghost Rider's going to get that place. He's going to move up to 13th spot. Keep on going, my friend. Keep on going. 2 more laps to go.
Zeroing in on the back of Saviour quite quickly.
That's it. We've only got 1 more racing lap after this. Can Saviour hold on for what will be an absolutely superb result?
Saviour does have more energy reserves, so
we are now going to have
something to hold on with.
Oh, he does. He has 40%. Oh, no, Lauren! Oh, dude.
No, that's a bad visit to the pits, wasn't it?
That was not good, unfortunately. Who's had the score straight on? It was Bergen! Bergen went straight on in the castle section.
I'm guessing those tyres have just given up the ghost, really.
Oh, my days. He's on for podium. He's going to be out. Oh, Bergs.
I'm guessing he's gone to brake, and obviously, it's just not wanted to slow down in the way that it has been in the previous laps, and he's just obviously chosen the right action, which is to not drive into the wall, which is what I would probably have done.
Oh yeah, I would have done the I am stupid section.
So no, bad luck. I mean, still in the points.
He is, and if he classes up to G-Star, he'll get 8th place because of penalties. Further on, so Saviour is actually using some of his ERS in a bid to try to keep ahead of Dynamite. But Dynamite now has got DRS, that's going to help him defend, but what can Reese do? There's 4% left for Dynamite. What's Reese got? He's got 5, he's got none either. Reese is trying to jink left, jink right. Can't do anything about it. 1 more lap to go. Final lap. And we've got a battle for the for 4th, 5th and 6th. Very, very tight. None of these guys are going to be enjoying their tyres very much at this moment in time. What's have you got in energy reserves? 22%. Not using it at this stage. But Dynamite's closing. Can't do anything about it. It is going to come down to the driver at the last corner. Look at that. There's contact. Dynamite into the back of Xavier. Reese now gets through. Is Reese going to try on Xavier? He is. And he's contact even more.
No.
Reese outbroke himself and hit Xavier. And Reese has gone straight on.
That's exactly what you did in Season 5 on the last lap.
I did. Thanks. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I didn't.
I wasn't. I don't know where I was battling for position, but yes, I did that.
It's suddenly all changed.
Oh my days! So Dynamite now in 4th, Xavier in 5th. He's got Anton coming up fast. Just a 5th fresher tyres, but Xavier should hopefully hold on for that. But we have gone throughout the last corners. The Task Boys in tandem, Chatty Duck and Seppi SW are going to come round the final corner. There it is, turn 20. What a performance it has been from the Haas Boys this evening. Flying formation as they're both celebrating as they come down. A well-deserved 1-2 for the Haas Boys. Seppi takes a win. Chatty Duck in 2nd. We're going to wait 11.5 seconds as Bailey's run out of ERS, and which is not surprising for Bailey. And he will take his 2nd podium of the season. And well deserved it was. Dynamite comes back, takes 4th. Xavier takes 5th. Anton, great race from him, takes 6th. G-Star in 7th. Bergen, does take 8th in the end, just ahead of Reese, who finishes 9th. Error Voice in 10th. Double points in the end for Alpha Tauri. J Sarge, so unlucky, had that spin in turn 15 and now it finishes in 11th. LRL in 12th. Ghost Rider, what a race from him. Well done, that man. Will come across the line in 13th. Can hold your head high with that one. You're battling the points and battling with the big guys, the big guns for a lot of that race, so well done for finishing 13th. Lauren Cheer will finish 14th. Ollie Racing on his return to MRC and Tier 1 takes 15th position with no front wing either, so he's decided to go for, lack of weight than anything else. Barnstar gets him from penalties, so Barnstar 15th, Ollie 16th, and Calvin will round out the finishers in 17th place. The non-finishers, Nick, Alex, and Sergeant Uncle Sam.
Ollie, obviously, on his return, had that unfortunate spin, which has obviously cost him quite badly towards the end, but good to see him back.
It is.
But that was quite a race, wasn't it?
It was. It was like almost a bit of a slow burner as well. It was one of those that was just nice and calm and fine, and then every now and again it just went berserk.
Wow, I mean, it just built, didn't it?
It did.
Until it got to boiling point, and then everything just flipped upside. Well, not everything, because obviously the guys at the front didn't flip upside down, but everybody from 3rd downwards was suddenly shifting around for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, they really were, and that was just, we saw obviously Reese having that great battle with Dynamite, and Xavier unfortunately ends in tears. Bergen unfortunately were on for a podium.
Yeah, Haas twins, look, they are twins.
They actually
literally have the same character. They are twins.
Oh boy,
that's really weird. Look.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my God, I'm seeing double.
That's very peculiar. I'm a bit scared.
Oh, well, so congratulations to the Haas Boys and to the blowhole, the rumpole blowhole of the Bailey for the top 3 spots. Of course, provisional results, those top 3: Kid Dynamite in 4th, Xavier 5th, Anton, great race, in 6th, G-Star in 7th, Berger in 8th, Reese in 9th, and Error Voice in 10th. Out the points, J Sarge, LRL, Ghost Rider, Lauren Chur. Then we have Barnstop, Ollie Racing, and Calvin at the finishers, Nick BT, Alex Edric, and Uncle Sam non-finishers. And they can breathe a bit.
It was a good attempt by Bergen to get those mediums to go that far. They just gave out at the end. But I mean, was that 16 laps he did on those?
Something like that. I'm just trying to see on the thing.
That's
17
amazing.
laps he finished. Wow,
that's pretty nuts. So yeah, kudos for that. Yeah,
he does like to do that. Actually, I've noticed that in practice. Actually, he goes ridiculously long. And sees what you can do with them. So yeah, it's not like he didn't get any practice doing it. He's worked on that. But yeah, I think he just got that wasn't really unlucky. He should have been a podium for him, but better, plenty more races to come, Bergen. I'm sure we'll see you up there very, very soon, especially with that pace as well.
But who's driver of the day?
Well, I mean, the game's giving it to Anton coming from 20th, and Saviour's come from 16th. You can see it there on the screen. I think Ghost Rider got a bit unlucky, and so he's definitely credited, and he can't be forgotten and passed over. I think for me, I'm gonna have to stick with Anton. I'm gonna go with the game, because that from 20th in a hectic and tight race was some very good go on the one stop as well, made that work very, very well amidst the safety cars. So I'm going to go with the game and go with Anton.
Yeah, it's difficult to argue with that. I mean, I would say for Seppi, literally likes to flag victory. That's not easy to do, especially around here. Didn't make a single mistake. Looked comfortable at all times as well.
Excuse me.
Only person in this race who's not had DRS once.
No, he didn't at all. No, and he seemed to hold his team really, really well, and that got very, very well for most of the race. We saw that when Sarge was up there battling, they were using a lot of their ERS to keep up with Seppi, and he still had 70% left of his battery. So yeah, that's a very good call as well.
I'm going to give him a shout for me, because he's also logged the second quickest lap time as well.
Yeah, perfect. He's brilliant. So Seppi and Anton
4/10 off the first lap, so that's pretty impressive with no DRS.
Wow, yeah, wow. Oh my god, that's ridiculous pace. Yeah, that really is. There we are, folks. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have. My voice is about to go, I think, from the Hodgie howlers this evening that we've had. And don't forget to hit the like button, of course, to share it as well with friends, family, the neighbours, dog, everybody else as well. Tier 3 will be here on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Tier 4 will follow shortly after at 8:45, then 7:30 on Friday evening, or of course UK times. We've got the MRC X 100% race that for some reason we allowed Connor to do. Don't know.
Yay.
So to be fair, that is good. I think that I don't know who's commentary for that one, but good luck to you. Bring some soothers and holes things, because you're going to need them, I think.
I'm partly wondering whether we're going to have enough finishes to fill a podium, but hey.
Well, we've done well. I think 3 non-finishes in Tier 1, and there was a bit more in Tier 2, so I think
9.
we'll be fine. 9, yes, I was going to say
9,
it.
Yeah. Although there was 9 non-finishes. Just to be clear, not 9 finishes. There was 9 non-finishes in Tier 2, as opposed to Season 5, where there was 9 finishes.
Yeah, yeah, true. We're getting better. So that means, next time in another 5 seasons, at least, when 13? We come back here, we're going to do better. Yeah,
making progress. Yeah, exactly. Give it another 10 seasons, and we might get everyone finishing.
Exactly that. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching us ramble on and have a few howlers and shout and scream a little bit and talk general nonsense for the last hour and a bit. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the racing, everybody. We will see you again very, very soon. Don't forget, of course, to hit the like, hit the share, and follow us on all social media. Good night, everybody. Thank you as well to Martin. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. It's been an absolute blast.
Thanks for having me. That was a great race to watch, and well done, everybody who took part in it, because it genuinely was. There was some great racing going on.
Yeah, certainly was. We will all see you very, very soon. Have a good evening, everybody, and we'll see you shortly. Take care.
Good night.